Hello everyone, welcome to Stamp On It's Mega Make and Take Summer Slimline event cards. We are going to be making 2 cards today, and here are some samples. These are the 2 that I will be showing. One is horizontal and one is a vertical. And I also showed you, I have a sample here showing this in the vertical and this in the horizontal. All right, so let's get started with the kit. All right, take them out. All right, so you have in your kit a 1/8 inch double stick tape. You have, I think this is either, this is a 1/2 inch double stick foam tape. You have a coupon, and remember, use that coupon. A lot of you have been forgetting to use the coupon. And then you will have directions. You have 2 overlays, square overlay slimline. One is wild cherry and the other one, of course, is black. And your sticker assortment should be gold and silver with the multi. It has corners, borders, and words. And then you should have a Samantha and a Doris fancy corner. Now, possibly we were running out of one, so you may have flip-flop as to what one you have, or you may accidentally have both, but it was because we were running short, so we apologize. And then you will have 2 cards. 2 slimline cards, one that is white and one that is cream. And then you will have the matching envelope. And as I've said before, it matches color tone. There are so many different whites and so many different creams, but these all match. All right. So we are going to start. And, oh, I'm sorry, I forgot to go over this. We have our images. Now, this is printed specially just for this class. You will not be able to purchase them in this configuration, but we gave you 2 that are vertical, 2 that are horizontal, and 2 that are vertical. Okay? Then you have a sheet of glitter film. This is adhesive back glitter film. It's awesome stuff. And then you have an extra piece of cardstock. Use it as your table paper. Save it for card making, whatever. You won't need that. Okay? So what we're going to do is we're going to start with the wild cherry overlay. Get a hold of it. Wild cherry overlay. We'll set the card base to the side, and we're going to get our image. And I'm going to show you that you can cut this with scissors. Not everybody has a trimmer, but you can cut these with scissors. There are cut lines on these images, so you have total cut lines. So long as you stay within reason on those cut lines, you're going to be fine, because anything that is crooked is hidden underneath the overlay. Okay? Maybe while we're at it, we can go ahead and cut out this one for our second card. That way then we can have that done. Like I said, you can use a trimmer, but I'm just going to use scissors just to show people that you don't have to have it. The only time when I'm going to show you some samples at the end is when it's really important to have straight cuts. But this, you could go wavy for all it cares. It doesn't matter. Okay, so we're going to set these to a side unless you choose to use them instead of what we're teaching with. But you have 2 other ones that you can make All right. So we're going to set the dog one, the dog, because the other one's cat. So we're going to set this dog one aside and out of the way because we're going to use this one first. And don't forget to cut this part off too. All right, and if you see, when you put the overlay on here, you can pretty much turn it over, get it lined up, and you have it done. So I just want you to notice that. That's what the lines are for. So then what you're going to do is you're going to get out your glitter film sheet. And this, you will need a trimmer. Okay. And I got to get my trimmer. You need to cut 2 strips that are 2.5 inches wide. And this is 8 1/4 wide, and it's 11 3/4 or something long. It's an A4. It's like British paper that they print out, or foreign dimensions. So it's 2.5 by 8 1/4. And you might as well cut them both while you have it out. So look at how much you have left that you can do stuff with. You have a lot. So I'm going to set the other one over with the dog so I don't lose it. All right, so with the glitter film facing you, hold it in your hand and hold up close. And what I do is I take my finger, I'm hoping that you can see this, and I drag it along. All right, so that one's not going to do it. So I flip it over here. I drag it on the edge. So none of them are going to do it. And today, when I was, there it goes, it will start to peel away. Do not remove all of it. You're just going to go back a little bit. Okay, you see? Then I fold it over this back. This gets a nice area for us to work on. So now you're going to look at your, I'm going to turn that up, right? Look at your image here, and you'll see the real shiny part. And then can you see the dull where the ink was placed? You're going to have the dull side up. Oops, sorry. Okay, dull side up. And you are going to take this, and if you have trouble finding this, you can put like a colored piece of paper or something with printing on it might help. No, that doesn't help. Well, anyway, I can see it, but if you have trouble and you have some colored cardstock beside you, then you can use that to get it. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I will say that it needs to be on this area. If it gets crooked to where it shows, there's no piecing it. And I have torn one all the way back off. Oops, this one acts like it's going sideways. Woo, just made it. See, and I think I did it because you start here, and I think you got to make sure that you are holding this and pulling, because if you pull this way, this stuff can move, which is what I did. But I'm fine. I'm still fine. I guess I should show you what you can do. This would be a good learning thing. So I am taking this and I am pulling it back. I'm putting my fingers on the plastic and I'm carefully pulling this back. And if it's really bad, if you feel it's really, really bad, like you won't be able to lay it back any better than it was, you can cut this off. So long as you haven't cut it off beyond that line, then you can just place this down. All right? that is how you can fix a boo-boo. And I'm kind of glad I made it because, you know, everybody makes boo-boos. Now there's a little extra sticky here, so I just trim that off. I don't trim the acetate. I just get rid of the sticky. Okay? There's a bit right there. Sometimes I can drag my scissors and it just rips off the extra. So there we go. We have it done. All right. So now what we're going to do is we're going to get our wild cherry overlay. And some people ask, is there a front and a back to any of our overlays? And technically, yes, but honestly, no one will be able to tell. There's like a rounded lip where it was cut and pressed down, and then this side has just a little bit of a sharper edge. So if you really want to look at that, that's how you tell. All right, so now what we're going to do is something a little bit different than what I normally do. This is your 1/8 inch double stick tape. So you're going to get that out. And because this is all one unit, I'm going to take the tape really close to the openings, and I'm just running all the way down. Okay? And then I'm taking it and putting it here. So unlike when I show you how to do it to assemble a card, this is for doing a long piece. It's a little fiddly when we start to take it off, but not bad. All right. So it doesn't matter because nothing has been decorated, nothing has been done. Do double check and make sure that you don't have any tape that is sticking in here, which I kind of think I do. I'll pull it back. I'll pull it back right now. If you have it where it's sticking over, or you feel it is, pull back, take your finger, and push it onto itself. And then I'm just going to close that back up. All right, so as I've shown in many ones, so some of you are new, you take one corner and you just pull it back, but instead of putting it on the outside, you're going to bend it at an angle and put it to the inside of the opening. So you're going to take this one and you're going to repeat that. So there are those two. Then you're going to go all the way down and you're going to do these two the same way. Just pull it back and press. Oh, come on, Sharon. I don't think I pressed that down. If you need, you can get a pokey tool. We do sell those on our website. Okay, so now you can see these two areas are exposed. So these are the only two places that I can touch. Well, I could touch in the middle, but so I am going to lay this down, get that one to stay down, and I'm going to look at my images, and you may need to stand up to get a good view to see that you have them pretty much the same. And if you do, with this, I just press and press. Nothing is moving. So I pull the short ones because they're the easiest. Then you're going to take the long one. You're going to pull through, do it again, and pull through. And you're going to do this. Oh, well, goodness. I guess you can do that. That's the first time it happened to me. Okay, then I turn it over and I rub on all of the tape lines to make sure it is well adhered. And you see where I put that together? You can't tell. There's nothing. It's all hidden behind here. So, don't freak out if you do something a little wrong. Now, what I like to do next is I like to decorate my overlay. So you'll need to get out your 2 sticker sheets, and this one is the gold. So you need to get out the gold, and I am using some that I've already used. Let's see if I've got what I'm looking for. Yeah, this one I want. So excuse the fact that these are already been used. So what I do is I put my corners because they are big. Now, I wanted to show you, in the sample, I did not use corners at all. So you can decide not to do that. But for sake of making something a little different, I am going to put the corners on this time. I'll lay this here, and I'm hoping you can see them both. So I get my pokey tool, and I get my sheet of stickers, and I take this, and I have my finger on there. Now I do kind of want to place it in the middle so that I now have control. It's not going to fall off. I can move it around. And so I just take this and I look and I like it and I roll my stick out. You can do this with a pin, a needle. So we're going to do all 4 corners. All right, we're going to do this one. And yes, I'm a lefty, you guys. So you're going to see weird things, scissors, everything. All right. Turn things to whatever is helping you. If you accidentally get like what I call chads that are left in, I set it down and then I pry it out. I pick it out. I did have one the last time, but who knows what'll happen this time. Goodness. All right. My timer keeps falling over. I'm trying to pay attention. Okay. So we're putting that on. I hope everybody has gotten this part all done. And if you don't, you can pause, go backwards, start it again, although this is live, so you won't be able to, but you'll be able to rewatch it. All right, so now I am going to go to this sheet and I'm going to get some borders. And I am going to use on this one, I'm going to use the straight ones. There are scallops, but I figured this is too fancy, with this already being fancy. So that's why I haven't pulled anything off of there. You can use these, but what I want to let you know is every other one is the same size. If you go one after the other, one is thicker, one is thinner, one is thicker, one is thinner. So just remember that when you pull off these ones that have a little texture to them. You have to pull off every other one. The straight lines, not a problem. Pull the whole thing off, put it in your hands, and then I just choke up on it a little. Start near the edge of that, and I put my finger down. And then I look to see the border edge, how much I'm giving myself. And then I press. Do the same, move along, press, get to here, stop, get your scissors, pull back on it till it's reasonably close to the edge of the corner. You don't need it to be perfect. Now this piece that's left over fits right in here, so don't throw it away. So now you can start it there, bring it there. This one's a little bit more fiddly because it's teeny tiny. Come on, Sharon. There. Excuse, my fingers are going to be in the way. There. That's all you have left on one strip. That's not much. So there's how it looks with one side done. Now you remove another sticker And again, just put it in your hands. It's still going to be sticky. So I get it started, and when I like it, I put my finger down. Then I run it across, go a little bit more, run it across. And now I'm to that edge. There's that. Now we're going to do this last one. There we go. So what you might want to do is just, now that you like everything, you can put it down. Now, one thing, our stickers will come back up. They don't get super stuck down right away. I mean, after I did what I did now, it might be a little bit harder, but you can pick these back up if you have to and move them. Okay? Now, in the sample, I put these in there. You can choose to do that. Oops. I am so used to showing things in the other direction. I apologize. Okay, so I think what I want to do is I want to put corners on the centerpiece. Now there I did what I call the leftover from a corner. Okay, when you pull off this particular corner, oh, come on, Sharon. That's what's left. I don't throw any of that stuff away because it can be nice little tiny accents on things. I've even put this on and put them in the corners. But let me tell you, you better be skilled to do that skinny little thing. So I think I'm going to put this whole piece on here, and I'll take a look and see if it takes over. Now I make sure that I can see the red through that part because I do want it stuck a lot to the actual overlay. Okay? Does that take away from it, you think? It's going to be your decision. If you don't want to do this way, you don't have to. So, do this again. Pull off another one. If you want, turn the whole thing around. Whatever makes it easier for you. I've had to pull these back up because I always got one crooked. Like that one right there, I think is crooked. See that? Yeah, I'm not total OCD, but I do have, if it's obvious, if I can see it, then it's got to be changed. Okay, last corner. This is a nice sheet because you get such a variety of things. You know, you get words, you get borders, you get corners. Granted, you don't have these beautiful, elegant corners, but I love these corners. Okay, so now I'm going to look at it. Oh, gosh, that was sad and pathetic. Are y'all laughing? Going, oop, she going to have to change that one. Well, that looks better. I can live with that. And if you can live with it, whoever you're giving it to better like it. Or you don't need to send them any more cards. So now you're going to pick a word that you want to put here. You can put it at an angle. You can put it straight across. You know, that's up to you. There are a lot of words on here to choose. I'm going to put the happy birthday. So here's my happy. And seeing how this one is at an angle, I'm going to do this one straight. Or within reason. Pick it up, take a look. Now sometimes I move this to the middle. because this will get floppy. Oop, laid down already. All right, let's check. You know, I don't think that's bad. I would be happy with that. Don't get too, you know, if it's obvious, super critical that it's crooked, then fix it. But, and if you've got to have it just right, then do it until you get it just right. And you can put them in your fingers, so long as you keep your fingers moist with your saliva or have a wet towel or washcloth there that you can dab your fingers. They don't have to be dripping, they just have to be moist. And then you can handle these without any problem. Okay, so now we have this all decorated. So now we're just going to be assembling our card. So now you need to get out your double stick foam tape. You need to get out your roll of foam tape. And what you're going to do is you're going to start here, staying within the parameters of the overlay. And then I just poke my finger down and that bends it. And then I snip it. Then I turn and I do this end. So this is the way that I show people to assemble cards, except the difference is we're doing it with double stick foam tape. One thing I should say is if you accidentally got bubbles in your glitter film, you can poke them and deflate the bubbles. Okay? You will still have quite a bit of foam tape. I've been using this, so it's running lower. So you want to make sure that it's all pressed down. Then, I don't care what corner you pick, you need to bring in now your card base. And remember, you fold over the mountain. You see this little ridge? That's the mountain. This is a valley. You fold over the mountain and get out a, you know, your bone folder, use the edge of your scissors, whatever you might have. Use what you got. Okay? So here is your card front, and we are doing a horizontal version of this because you see they're laid out horizontally. And if you notice, what's really cute is one cat's looking this way and one cat's looking that way. Isn't that cute? So you turn it over, you start with one corner. You do not take it all the way off. You just pull it back a little ways, and then I'm going to fold it that way so that it won't tuck back over it. You fold it at an angle, and then I just fold it behind there. Now you're going to go here. Crease. You can use a pokey tool. If I had fingernails from the salon, I would never be able to do this. So now I'm able to put this down because I am not touching these two exposed corners. And those flaps act like little feet that allow you to move this around. So you're going to look at your ends and your top and bottom and see if they're reasonably nice. And if they look good, press down on that corner and press down on that corner. Oh, I forgot to say, oh, cheese and crackers. I'm going to see if I can pull this up. If you can't, I apologize. Try and see if you can without tearing the paper. Or at least go only part way, because I forgot. We need to put bracings in here. So what you need to do is take your foam tape and you need to put it in there. You don't remove the backing. You're just having it have the support. Let me show you when I get this one on. It's just for support, so it doesn't sink in the middle. You see that? I apologize. Oh, I thought I was so good. You need to have that. If you don't and you can't take it off, well, you can yell at me. So now we're just carefully pulling the backing off. And you see now this doesn't sink in. It was sinking in, and that's how I knew I forgot that part. So, sorry, people. So now we have this card all done. How pretty and how simple. This glitter film is what I call your go-to product. With our vintage hues and our overlays, you can get a card made in 5-10 minutes. Okay? All right. So there's the cream one. Now I'm bringing in this next one, which has the dogs. And I know I trimmed it. Oh, there it is. So you bring in your extra piece of glitter film that you already cut 2.5 to 8 1/4, and then you bring in your dogs. And what I would do is just trim close to that line at the bottom. And now we are going to trim this apart, okay? Because if you see here, there is no glitter film. This has glitter film. We're going to do it without the glitter film. So what I still do is I still find the dull side. I'll get these out of the way, or at least put them somewhere where you might be able to get a glimpse. So again, the dull side is up. You're going to pull back a little bit of the glitter film. And we're doing the same thing as we did before. We're laying this down. And I'm hoping I will pull this a lot straighter. Yay! All except for the excess stuck. All right, and you can't fold that back. Do not fold that back. It will show because there is a considerable amount there. So you just get rid of that sticky. And you feel along the edges, and if you have excessive sticky, which if you can see here, that's a little much. So I am going to trim that off, but I am not going to cut the acetate. And like I say, sometimes I can drag my scissors up and it'll take it. But yeah, I should be using my non-stick scissors. If y'all have them, get them. Okay, that is good enough. So now you see, now the dogs have glitter. So we are now going to cut. You see these cut lines? We're going to cut on those. If you cut a little bit back is fine, just not a ton. You see I didn't exactly cut on there because at the angle I'm looking at, it's harder for me to see that little tiny line. But it is nice that Deb put that in there so that you can easily find out where you need to cut. So now this one is going to be vertical. So you are going to get out your black overlay. You see these have black on them. Okay. Get out your black overlay, and like I say, feel where it feels kind of sharp, where you can feel the cut, if that bothers you. You're going to get your 1/8 inch double stick tape. And this is going to be vertical, but I am turning it sideways just to put this tape on. But if that gets you confused, then hold it vertical and do this. So you're going to put tape, don't overlap it. Just near the opening. You don't want it way in the middle. You don't want it on the outside. We'll be putting foam tape there. So, all right, so we don't need to put any around this one because this is going to be empty. We're going to put tape on this one. Okay. So we have the tape. Now, don't do the pullback right now because I want to have you do something before we lay this down on the images. Okay, you're going to get your white card base. All right, Sharon, where'd you put it? Here it is. You're going to get your white card base, fold it over the mountain. Then what you're going to want to do is put it vertical. Then you're going to place this on just temporarily, just so you know where this opening is. So you're going to take a pencil and you're just going to lightly make lines where the perimeter is of this opening. You see, I now have these little lines. Now I know where to place my word sticker. Okay? So then I'm going to bring in my word sticker. And I think this time, oh, that one says, so I think I will do with love. You know, what would be really nice with these vintage hues is they're animals. And if you have dog walkers or cat sitters, what a cute card to make for them. So maybe I should put thank you then. Yeah, I'll do thank you. And that way then, you know, you could be sending a thank you card to someone that does that. Now, you can do it straight on or at an angle. I will do it at an angle this time. I just put my finger there and slide it out. Then I get the U, put it on that stick and let it stay. And sometimes you might have to hold it up, but then you just touch it and wiggle, and there it is. And there is, on this sheet, there is only one flower. So, you know, I don't do anything inside of here. But if you have other stickers, you could put little hearts in here or what have you. So now we're going to put our images. We're going to set this aside. Oh, we can erase this. Erase your lines. I prefer, and it is recommended, that you use a white eraser when you're erasing on this because it doesn't leave like an orange residue with the other erasers. The white, you know, this one has an orange one at the bottom. I put the white ones on. You can buy the brick ones at Dollar Tree or probably any of the dollar stores. Okay, so we're going to set this card aside. And now we're going to be attaching our images. Okay, and they're vertical. So maybe it helps if you have them in the vertical position. So again, we're going to do this method, but we're folding it to the inside of this square opening. Then we're going to go here and we're going to do the same. And we're going to push them inside here. Now, I don't do both of them at the same time. I do one at a time because I'm bound to make this stick on something it isn't supposed to. So you want to bring this up to you. Do not touch on those corners. You can touch on these and move it around until you're happy. And I'm sorry, but I have to stand up or I do things crooked. Okay, there's that. Then all you do is pull your strips. Press that down. Then we're going to do the same thing here. Again, we're going to pull it back a little ways. Crease it, and if you want, press it to the back. Crease it. Maybe it won't fall back. Again, fold it over. Fold this over. Okay, so now we have this. So now you bring in your next image. You set this down, and as long as you're touching only these corners, you can move this or you can move it here. The minute you touch these, it's stuck. I have been able to pry them off, and I do need to stand up because I like to look at the other one so that I am within reason the same distance from things. Looks like I got that a little crooked. Okay, press. Yeah, I touched that corner, you guys. I did a no-no. But luckily it was good. There we go. So we have assembled this card, this part of the card. Now we're going to decorate it. I always decorate it before we put the foam tape on because, lesson learned, I did one today and accidentally had the foam tape on and didn't do this part, and it was a little fiddly wobbly. So now we're going to decorate. And this, you're going to get out your silver stickers. So you have one of these, and some of you should have this. This is called Doris. This is another fancy corner. If you see here, there's the Doris. There's Doris. Okay. So I'm going to put the corners on first. That's what I tend to do. I like to put the corners on because if the corner has some openings, if I were to put that strip on there, I might get it to where it's going to show. So I'll just pick a spot, pick an area. Well, Jiminy Christmas. Carefully pull it back. Now, if you see, I took something with me. Sometimes I'll just put my finger on here and press, and then if I lift it up, yeah, it didn't stick on my finger, but it did pop out. Kinda. There's always going to be one at some time there. All right, there we go. Oops. Okay, put that on. Now we're going to pick a corner, and like I say, it doesn't matter what way you have the card because a corner is a corner. Whether it's upside down or sideways too. There, that one pulled right off with nothing left over. See, it can happen. And like I say, I'm not sure if I like how that one went down. I think I'm gonna lift this one back up. And this can happen to you. Like I say, you just take your time. Don't pull fast because these have some frail parts. Okay, so I'm trying to make sure that I have similar distance. Okay, now we're going to get the next one. I have a feeling this one is going to pull a lot off. Yeah. Once in a while, practically everything stayed down. So I have them on my finger, but I'm just going to get rid of them because now I got to work on this one. Let's see how well. Doesn't want to come off. All right, I want to show you a technique that I do. Is I put it down where I want it. And then I take my pokey tool and I take this out with my pokey tool instead of in my hand. That way then I can hold down the real sticker. There, it's off. That's kind of how I really like to do it, not necessarily in my hand. Yeah, here's a good example. Practically everything came with it. All right, so I'm going to put it down. Then I'm going to take this part out. put it back on the sheet. And I'm going to get this part out. Sure I am. Once in a while, if it sticks on a thing, I run the needle across. Probably my bifocals aren't letting me look at where I'm supposed to be. There we go. And we have this one. Which this one just, I think, was once in a while, the machines don't cut all the way through. But it did. That came out real easy. Easier than I thought it was gonna. Okay. So now you can decide what kind of border that you might like to put on this, or maybe you don't want to put a border on at all. Maybe you like it just like this. Oh my gosh, I put a gold thank you on there. Can you tell I'm not thinking? I had the gold sitting here beside me, that's why I didn't pull out my silver. See, you can pick them up. Look, it had been there a while. So what I'm going to do is just lay this on here again. Hopefully you guys didn't follow the crazy lady. Okay. So here's thank you in the silver. Hey, I think that's pretty good. First try. Don't have to move it. Now, I think I'll put some borders on this because I love borders. I just love how they work. Now this time I'm going to pick the textured one. So I'm going to take the first one. Oops, actually this is the second one, because there is one right here. So I took the second one. All right. So again, I'm going to start here, put my finger on it, slide around. Gotta see where I'm at here. See if it's crooked. No, that looks good enough. As my good friend says, perfection is only found in heaven. Yeah, and if you hold this far enough away, nobody's going to notice it. I don't like how low that one is. It's real close there and far away there. So I'm going to fix that. In a way, this is kind of good that I'm doing all this, because hopefully it will take away your fear of picking these things up and placing them back down. Uh-oh, where'd that little piece go? Oh, here it is. This little piece, again, fits here. Okay. Now I'm going to skip one and take one. Sure I am. Well, let's pull them apart. At least I think these ones are the, you know what? These ones might be all the same. There is one sticker sheet that has these where they are different. So I apologize if these end up being all the same. I'm just so used to the other sheet if this doesn't have it. Okay. And again, on here. Oh boy, look how crooked that is. We're going to fix that. So I'm going to pick this up and move it over. There we go. So I am going to decide if I want any more on this at all. And that's something you'll want to decide. You can decide whether you want to put any of these corners on here like we did before, like this. You can do that. Or just leave it plain. Or let's see, what if I hold this here and if I take, I think I'm going to do that after it's all put together. All right, so now we're going to put this together because I'm not going to put the corners on the inside. I'm going to leave it blank. Seeing how this one has corners, got to have one with and without. All right, so now we need to put our double stick tape on. So we're going to start here. I think I grabbed the wrong one. Start here. Go all the way down. Press. And cut. See, it doesn't have to be a straight cut. Go here. And press. And here. And press. And here. And press. And now this time, everybody, we're going to remember to do this part. You put it in here. Snip. Put it in here. Put your finger there, bend it. Snip. Now, do not remove the backing off of those. They are just meant for support. Okay? If you remove it, you're not going to have the ability to move it around to get it set just right. So maybe you want to press those down. And then I like to pick my upper corner. It's just me. Maybe it's the lefty in me. So you just peel back a little, fold it at an angle, bend it back. Right next to it. Bend it back. All right, so we bring in our card base. Don't touch those corners. So you can move it around with this and this and decide if it's equal enough. Then you can press down and then press down. There. Whoops, that happens. I'll have to show you how to fix that. My strip tore. This piece tore. So, if you'll notice, it's not stuck. So I just get my pokey tool in there and I pick away the backing paper. I can't tell you how far my face is away from this. It's like, I'm touching it, I'm not touching it. I'm only touching the foam. Maybe I'll start up here at the edge. Aha, I can see some paper. There it goes. There it goes. Okay. I pulled that out. See, there was quite a bit that got tore off. So that was necessary to do. If it was just a little bit, Nobody's going to know. All right, so this card is done. You've completed 2 cards. And how beautiful are they? These are the 2 that we completed in this class. Now I have some other samples that I would like to show you. Here is one done on our fossil overlay with gold on copper with the 2 cats in the window. Here is the dogs that we just did. And I just used, this is scrap from a corner sticker. And that's why I don't throw away any of the parts, because this is what's left over after you pull the corner off. So always, think about using them. And then here's one where it's all glitter film. Now, one thing that you will need to be more precise is when you are going to be putting them down without an overlay at all. So you see this card? I use different supplies, but you'll find them on the website. And the way that you attach this, you see how at every corner I have something. That's because I have a 4mm glue drop behind them, and then I just press them down to adhere them. Let's see if you can see the glue drop. Can you see it? A little booger drop. And here's another version using it. And I used what was left over from the Samantha corner. Let's see if I can find Samantha. I'm pretty sure, yeah. This right here, I put there. So always think about what you have left over on your sheets. Now this one, I used the same corners here as I did here. But isn't that just neat to do it without an overlay too? This one, I decided to use the cut off glitter film piece, and I put that down on a diamond. I think I did have to lay it down first to know how much I had to trim this down, and so that it wouldn't extend out. And here's that extra border on the sheet. That fancy border. And if you see this is the corner that I don't put right over the top of that scallop. But yeah, there's dots behind here. This is, I think I put just little tiny pieces of double stick tape behind here or here so that it wouldn't show through, because all of this would show through. Here's another sample. And here's another sample. I hope that you have enjoyed this class with Stamp on It, and that you will keep doing these make and takes. And I'll be happy to see you next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Hi everybody, this is Debbie, and I'm going to go through just a little follow-up video on the product used in our project video that you just saw. And this is working with our Slimline overlay vintage hues. These vintage hues are designed specifically to work with Slimline cards. And as you already know, a Slimline card, I'm going to show you a sample here while I'm talking, is a specific shape and size, can be used vertically or horizontally. So with our vintage hues that are designed to work with them, we have added a feature to these that makes them really easy to work with, really versatile, and those are cutting lines on the acetate. So when you get the sheet, there will be gray lines that you can use if you wish, as your cutting line. So for example, this one is what we call a vertical. They are laid out on the sheet for you vertically, and you can use them vertically on your project. So if I were to take, let's say, an overlay, this would encompass these 3 images on the sheet perfectly if you cut on the cutting lines. All right, and I'm going to go ahead and do one of those in a moment just quickly, but I want to show you also, here is an idea, one that is horizontal. So if I were to cut on the cutting lines, it's horizontal. It encompasses those 3 images. Now, also on our website, we have other designs. This is one of our new shades of florals, and this is the vertical version. There's horizontal. Also, there are versions, sheets that you can order that don't have words on them. This is empty in the middle, so you can add your own words. You can put stickers there, that type of thing, like the instructor earlier showed you. Okay, so that is a vertical also. Now I'm going to just go into this particular one. This is called our Little Hoots line. I'm going to move these out of the way a minute, just to give you that idea. Horizontal, laid out to work with this way. Vertical, laid out to work this way. Then we have the same images that are horizontal with nothing in the middle, and vertical with empty in the middle. And each time, if you cut on these lines, you can work with it either horizontally, vertically, or you may choose to just cut them completely apart and use them that way as well. So then you can go either horizontally, vertically, 1 to a card, 3 to a card, whatever you want to do for a layout. And I'll show you some more samples of that in a moment. Now I'm going to just quickly move to a sheet that I'm going to actually cut up while we're working here. This is one of our new ones, also called Nature's Soft Shades. This one has words in it, and this is also available vertically without the words. And you will find that all on our website. Okay. So what I can do, I can take this sheet and I can use it as a whole sheet and then cut it apart on the cutting lines. Or I can choose to cut it apart first, cut a piece. If you're working with our glitter film, you can use the glitter film with it and cut it individually, or you can mount the entire sheet. If you're going to mount the entire sheet, take the glitter film. And what I always suggest to people to do is to what we call worry the edge. So the edge of it that has the glitter is facing you, and sometimes you got to turn it a couple times to find an edge that'll grab your skin. You're going to do a thing called worry. So just rub your fingers over it, and your skin will catch on it. Of course, now I put hand cream on my hands so they didn't look dry, and it doesn't catch as well, but we do have it. So we're going to peel this coating back, maybe about 1 inch or 2, and we're going to fold it. Now this is working with it as a whole sheet. You do not need to do this, but you can. And I'm going to lay this on the table, and I'm going to be attaching this to the back side, or the dull side, and you can see where the ink lays on the sheet. It's the dull side. And what you want to do is you want to just roughly line up the edges. It doesn't have to be perfect. Now I'm going to press that down, and underneath here is my carrier sheet, which I folded back. And I'm going to just slowly pull on that carrier sheet, and I'm going to pull it down and across that vintage hue. So my other hand is under here, and I'm just pulling it slowly across and over that sheet. Now my carrier sheet is what we call, has a coating on one side, so you can use that if you'd like. It is a coated sheet that you can use to use as a palette for colors and such. But this piece now has the entire glitter film sheet adhered to the back side. Now, if you need to, you can press out some of those air bubbles. If you get a lot of air bubbles and it really is bothering you, take a little pin and just poke them, and you can just remove those air bubbles. All right. We're not going to worry about those in essence of time here. We're going to use a piece of this. So now I'm going to take, and I'm actually just going to use a scissor. And because I have those nifty cutting lines, I'm simply going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut across and cut a piece of this right off. All right. Now I can take, and I can see my other cutting lines, and I'm going to use this horizontally. So I can take and cut that. And this edge is as it is, just like that. All right. Now I can take my overlay and my card, and I'm going to use a cream card for this one. I'm just going to pre-fold this card. And I will be able to, because I use the cutting lines, when I adhere this to one side of my overlay, my cutting lines will line up with the centers of the overlay. And when I adhere it to the front of my card, whether it's flat down or if I put foam mounting tape on, as the instructor earlier showed you, there's various ways you can do that. When I adhere it down, it is perfectly lined up. So I don't need to worry about, did I cut it in the right spot? Did I cut too much, too little off? It is perfectly aligned to fit the front of my card. And this one as a horizontal card. All right. So again, I'll put my adhesive here and I will simply adhere that down and position it. So all of the sheets, our new Slimline overlays, or Vintage Hues, sorry, are available vertically, horizontally. There's words, there's no words. You can pick what you want to work with and order them accordingly. There's also a video right off from the product on our website or in our video section as well that you can watch that has more detail on all of this. So, since you've already seen and done the project, that helps you also. But if you need more inspiration or anything after this video is done, you will be able to watch that video as well for more instruction and so on. So now I just want to go through and show you our new overlays that we got in beautiful colors. These are the Slimline overlays. You can buy them by color. You can buy them as mixed packages. Come in squares, circles, and then we also have our basic colors, neutrals. Okay, so you can order those on our website as well. All those links are available right off from our site. And now I want to just go through a few samples to finish off this quick video for a little added inspiration. Some of these use the overlays. Let me move that out of the way. Some of these use the overlays, some do not. This one, she cut a piece of an overlay and just used a square in the center, and these two are just mounted to the front. If you're going to do that, you can use adhesive on the back side, especially the glitter film. It helps to hide the adhesive, but also you can be creative and hide it behind stickers or some of the darker print on the piece. This one, she also used a embossing folder on the front of the card. So that's a neat thing to do too. And I'll just kind of show these briefly. This one's with one of our the new Pebble overlay. Windowsill pets. And again, added stickers. This one has the words on it. This is the vertical of that. Here's a horizontal with the glitter film all the way across. There were no words in the middle on this sheet, so we added stickers. Here we cut them apart and used individually and just put two with a sticker. Another vertical. Here is Nature's Soft Shades. You Are in My Thoughts with white stickers, very effective on that overlay. And here again is one that is not using an overlay. And then we have this design with Sincere Sympathy, where it's in there on the acetate, but she did not put glitter film behind it. In that case, you would cut it apart on more of the cutting lines than just the vertical or the horizontal. Cut them apart and add them to your overlay as you like. And I'm going really quickly through these. This is white stickers. She custom colored to match the flowers. And now we get into our little hoots. Here's a horizontal. Happy birthday. Using the overlay with just the little hoots vertical. This one again, the overlay has an embossing folder. Vertical. This is one of the Little Hoots 3. This is Little Hoots 3. So just some really fun ideas. We have all these on our website, so you can click on the samples with the sheets. Check out our website, www.stamponit.net. We have almost all of these ideas on there. And plus, like I said, there is another video with more detail on working with these. Gives you a little bit more insight into the features of them, but definitely check out our website and join our email list. Our email is fantastic. We use that. We don't sell it, we don't give it away, but we use it to contact you, to send out sales, notices of new products. Our Jammy video series pops up on there. We do not inundate you with emails every week, all the time, every day. We only send them out as needed, and we try to keep it to a minimum for you so that you're not inundated with the emails. So we look forward to seeing you on our website, and if you have any questions, you can email us right off from there, and we will respond. So thank you for watching, and we hope you've enjoyed this video and the project. Have a great day.